Over all the facts, but here's the thing. I have an opportunity with you, and I'm going to just speak to you honest and real because you're in a church, and I'm going to assume that most of you are my brothers and sisters in the Lord. You're the body of Christ. You're the same body that I'm a part of that's got Paul's letter to the church of Ephesus in Ephesians 6 when he says, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against demons and principalities and rulers of the dark age. Paul reminds us to put on the armor. He reminds us that we have weapons. But again, the problem I run into and see in 30 years of ministry in America is a lot of Christians and a lot of churches stop at the first three words that just say, we wrestle not. They don't even think about the war we're in. It's the same message in 2 Timothy 2, verse 4, where the Apostle Paul tells Timothy, hey, remember, a soldier in battle and at war doesn't get entangled and ensnared with civilian affairs. Again, it's a call to this battle. See, as a Christian, sometimes it's easy to come in and get your coffee and think about where you're going for the buffet after lunch. It's easy just to be comfortable and not think about the war and the battle that we are in that rages around us. But let me tell you, rest assured, who is not forgotten, and it's the adversary. The adversary hasn't forgotten. That's why in 1 Peter, Peter refers to him as a roaring lion looking, creeping around to see who he can devour and kill and steal and kill and destroy next. It's the same word that we see in Job when God says, look, Satan's doing nothing but going to and fro, looking to be a liar and accuser of the brethren. It's the same word that we got in 1 John 3. It says that devil, he's been sinning from the beginning, and he continues to sin, and he never stops sinning. The devil doesn't stop. He hasn't forgotten we're at war. Now, if we were on the front line of battle, what I would do is I would talk to you and I would say, here's our victories, but I also would talk to you and say, here's the battle damage report. And most of you aren't even aware of some of this damage that's happening every week. I want you to think about, what did you accomplish this week? Maybe you did some things in the office. Maybe you're getting ready, putting a spring garden in. Whatever it is, what did you accomplish this week? Well, let me tell you what the enemy accomplishes on a weekly basis in America. Every 5 days in America, 1,819 kids are arrested on a drug-related charge. Every 5 days in America, 1,028 children are arrested on a violence-related charge. Every 5 days in America, 660 more children drop out of school. Every 5 days in America, 40 young people lose their life related to a firearm. Every 5 days in America, 25 kids lose that wrestle with that accuser of the brethren, and they take their own life by suicide. Every 5 days in America, on average, over 20 kids die because of abuse and neglect. Every 5 days in America, 232 children are sold into sex trafficking in America. America is the highest consumer of child pornography in the world. And I get this a lot. The glazed over deer in the headlights, which always shocks me when I'm in this area, because you live in the third heaviest trafficked area in the country. The I-81 corridor has been identified as the third heaviest trafficked area in the country. And I'm just gonna shoot you straight, guys. You can look at 40 activities that we got. You can look through all that fun that the kids do. But here's the reality. When you're 8 years old and your mom has died of an overdose and your dad's been selling you for strangers to do what they want with you on Craigslist, to pay for your methamphetamine and heroin habit. What you don't need is, you don't need somebody coming up giving you religion, doing a little vacation Bible school. You need a divine encounter with the living God. You need somebody, a group of people that will go to war on behalf of your life and your soul, and that's what Camp Ezri is.